This morning, cattle producers in the states that have consistently supported the Republican Party are asking Donald Trump one question he cannot easily avoid. Where is America's beef coming from, and who is really making money from it? At exactly 6:52 a.m. on August 21, Donald Trump signed a decision that could change the future of thousands of ranchers across the country. With just a few strokes of a pen, the power to determine the value of their hard work could be placed in the hands of the largest corporations in the industry. Companies that do not wake up before dawn to care for livestock, do not struggle through brutal winters, and do not watch the cost of feed, fuel, and veterinary care rise month after month. But the most bitter part is this. The people being affected are not the voters who oppose Trump. They are not strangers to the America First movement. They are the very people who stood behind him, voted for him, and believed he would protect American workers, American farmers, and the families who have spent generations building a life on the same piece of land. They believed Donald Trump would return power to ordinary Americans. Now, they are asking whether that power is being handed over to the biggest corporations in the meat industry instead. To consumers, this may look like nothing more than a decision written on paper. But to ranchers, it means profit margins, bank payments, college tuition, and the future of an entire family. It means asking whether they can continue raising cattle on the land their families have worked for generations, or whether they will be pushed out by a system in which they no longer have any real bargaining power. And this time, they are not staying silent. 4 cattle producers confronted Donald Trump and said it to his face. No hesitation, no polite excuses, no attempt to hide their disappointment. Every one of them had voted for Trump. This is what Donald Trump signed. This is what it could take away from American ranchers. And this is the question his most loyal voters want answered. If Donald Trump truly stands with the American people, why are the very people who helped put him in the White House now the first ones being forced to pay the price?
And then I'll share their anger towards the architect of economic chaos.
Cheaper beef prices for you in the store, but it could come at a bigger cost for American cattle farmers. In a push for more affordable food, President Donald Trump announced that 300,000 metric tons, or roughly 660 million pounds of ground beef, would be imported to the U.S. for the next 90 days. Sold, he says, 25% under current market prices. Forget the Facts data team found that the average price of ground beef climbed to a high of $6.89 per pound last month. A big factor behind that surge, the U.S.'s supply of cattle has shrunk to its lowest level in over 6 decades, due in part to drought and high feed costs. Agriculture economists tell us any quick fix to reduce beef costs could backfire on the very ranchers it aims to help.
Here's a policy response that addresses high beef prices for consumers, yet works to move prices lower that hurts that incentive to grow domestically and produce more beef here. And so, there ain't no free lunch.
I'm not sure about the rest of you, but as a cattle farmer, cattle producer, or cattle rancher, whatever title you want to give us, I can't believe that President Trump and Secretary Rollins just kicked us in the teeth yesterday by saying that they're going to import foreign beef here into the United States. This plan that he's actually talking about, you can go and look for yourself. The Cattlemen Association at the national level, every state is coming out totally against it. And it's 100% because it's not going to have any real effect on prices of beef in the grocery store. The reality of it is the packers control everything. Until we address the 4 packers and how they control everything, we're doing absolutely nothing. Mr. President, your decision is going to run ranchers like myself and others. We don't make any difference. We big or small. You're going to run us out of business, and we will never, ever be able to rebuild the herd. Right now, as everyone knows, the herd is the smallest it's ever been. But with this action for the next 90 days, what it's doing is pushing down the price of beef that we sell to the sale barn that ultimately goes to your table. This action that the president is doing is not doing anything to help the American people. He thinks it is. I wish he would listen to the Cattlemen Association and others that understand agriculture, because the reality of it is right now, what this is happening to us is straight up bush. There's no other way to do it. So I just want to clearly put out there, I'm totally against it. I'm going to fight every day for our farmers, fight every day for our ranchers, because somebody got to get to D.C. that understand agriculture and going to stand with agriculture. Because right now, if we continue on this path, we're going to run agriculture and run cattlemen completely out of business.
Hello, my fellow Nebraskans. It's Trent Lewis. I expected this. Not charging tariffs on imported beef for the next 90 days to get a cheap ground beef supply to the American consumer. This guy has been working with the elite of the world, the Larry Finks. Go research yourself. The chairman of the World Economic Forum, who plans for me and you not to own this land, not to own those cattle, we as consumers not to have access to animal protein. He's been working on this with these people for a long time. Donald Trump is leading the largest land grab since the Indian Wars. But you know what? The Indians fought back. We're not even fighting back. We're just continuing to lick the boots and say, hey, tell me, boss, what I do next. That's got to stop now.
That's a Nebraska rancher. And I'll be straight with you. I'm not signing off on every word of that. I can't tell you what Larry Fink has to do with a beef quota. Neither can he. But don't skip past it either. That's a man who voted for this president, standing in his own grass, reaching for the biggest thing he can think of, to explain why his own guy just did this to him. Nobody gets that angry over a policy. You get that angry over a betrayal.
They're going to import a bunch more boxed beef, ground beef, scrap cuts, that's what I call them, and hopefully bring down the price of ground beef in the store for y'all. We've seen a market crash for live cattle that people like myself grow and take to the processing plants or go down through the system. That's dropped 40 cents a pound already just from that plant closure. Now this morning, the markets are crashing. But will your price change? So far, we have not seen that. We have not seen that. And at what expense to you? I'll tell you what expense to you. This is the opposite of what needs to happen. We're not going to retain heifers and build a herd when we can have, the stroke of a pen drop our price to where we don't make a profit anymore. And honestly, that's where we stand. We finally begun to make a profit and all hell breaks loose. People can't handle it. I guess, because beef is high in the store. I get it. Beef is high in the store. Look at what else is high in the store. Look at what's high for the rancher and the producer. Fuel, land, labor, all of it. You got a $9 latte, but $7, $8, $9 a pound for ground beef is too much, right? Now you're going to get stuck with shitty ground beef. Trust me. And we won't rebuild the herd, and you're going to lose more ranchers.
Trump announced earlier that he's going to allow the importation of 300,000 tons of foreign beef. Country of origin, still unknown. We don't know. But I can assume it's probably Argentina, the country with the most Zionist president ever, as he is self-proclaimed. Guys, this is a slap in the face to all of our own ranchers and farmers. Thomas Massey just had a bill that would have allowed the farmers and ranchers to sell directly to the consumer in the communities that they produce this food, and just cut out the middlemen entirely. That there would bring down prices and make accessibility to good, high quality beef much easier. Going for foreign beef, we don't even know exactly where it's coming from. What kind of regulations? What kind of standards are they held to? We have some of the best beef in the world growing right here in America, but they make it so goddamn hard for the consumer to get to these mom and pop ranches, these legacy ranches who've been doing it for generations. And all we're really left with is to go with the big corporate farms, right? There's like 3 or 4 of them who own basically almost all the slaughterhouses. So all the meat in the supermarket comes from just a few select people. And it's usually full of hormones and all kinds of shit, not healthy. So I don't know what you're thinking, Mr. President, but you just pissed a lot of people off. A lot of our ranchers and farmers, I don't think you'll find any of them that would agree with what you just did.
4 companies buy nearly every steer in this country. So when live cattle drop 40 cents a pound, that 40 cents never reaches your register. It stops in the middle. That's the trick. He isn't lowering the cost of beef. He's changing who pays for it. Off your checkout line, onto his ranch. Now count the 90 days. August 21st. The window doesn't close until November 19th. Election day is November 3rd. The cheap beef is on the shelf for the vote and gone 2 weeks after it. He won these men on a price. Now he's buying an election with their herd. And when it's over, the imports stop, the herd is smaller, and your hamburger costs exactly what it does today. If you want more stories like this, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep following the money, exposing the decisions that affect ordinary Americans, and bringing you the facts behind the headlines. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update.